$1 million by 2020. Well, at least $1 million by 2020, or he'll eat his own genitals. That's what John McAfee said. John, why $1 million? Why not 1.5 or 2?
Well, you know, I'm a very conservative person, and I seldom lose bets. I chose a very conservative number, one which is absolutely impossible for me to lose, because I think the true value will be many times that. And how did I reach the value? The way I do most things, backwards. Instead of taking what happened and project it forward, the nice thing about Bitcoin is it has a finite end, when the last coin is going to be mined, or even 10 years from now where there are very few coins left. So I'm thinking, okay, so there's 10 coins left, or whatever, and we have 100,000 miners, and we're spending $1 billion a month trying to mine this coin, which might take us half a year. What's the value of that coin? It's got to be in the trillions of dollars. So if it is, because we know it's going to be mined, and it's going to have some value, and if we're spending billions to get it, it has to be worth many times more. So let's say it's $1 trillion, a very conservative number, and let's work backwards. Then $10 million in 2020 is about the right price.
So it could be anywhere. I mean, from what you're saying, if it's equivalent to the investment in the miners in the network,
it has to be, else they wouldn't be mining, would they? See, this is a business. I was one of the world's largest miners. We're not going to mine something we're going to lose money on. Of course not. If we're mining it, it's going to be worth a fortune. And we're going to have to cooperate with each other, because I'm not spending $1 billion and everybody else to get my competitor, get the last coin. No, we're all going to cooperate and go, whoever gets it, we divide it equally. All right, so no, $10 million is more likely, but $1 million is safe. So you have to trust me, I will win that bet.
You're Irish, and you said that being Irish, you've never lost a bet. So.
I've never lost a bet. My wife's been with him for quite a while. She will tell you that I've done 1,000 bets. I've never lost a bet.
So John, why did you exit the mining business then? You mentioned earlier that you exited the mining business a few weeks ago. If you're so positive about this infrastructure that's being built, why exit?
Because you think that life is all about money? No, it's a boring business. I'm sorry. You know what? A 12-year-old could run that business. There's no excitement. There's no adventure. There's no creativity. There's no. No, I just got tired. I mean, sure, money. We're making money like crazy. It's like having a license to print your own money. However, this is boring.
When you exited the mining operation, how big was the mining operation?
It was about 11,000 S9 machines.
11,000 S9 machines.
Yes.
And where were they hosted? Where were you guys?
I still can't tell you, because the company still has that information. I mean, that would give my competitors a leg up.
And what are you spending your time on today?
Oh, I was spending over half of my time in cryptocurrency even before that. I'm spending it all in mostly ICOs, because initial coin offerings are the future of this industry and of our world. And it's from these ICOs that the magical creativity that's going to change your life and the lives of your children is going to come from. So that's exciting to me, and that's a lot more fun than sitting around looking at the temperature outside and trying to calculate how much electricity I'm going to use. No, that's not fun.
So we're going to spend some time talking about ICOs, because it seems like ICOs are really back in favor these days.
Yes.
During the little correction that we had a couple of weeks ago, you seem to be keeping your wits and telling people that it's actually nothing.
It is nothing.
What is the basis for that? The market
the
went down
this
over 50%.
is the mathematics of this industry, okay? If you look at it, you know, I buy everything with cryptocurrency, almost everything, except coffee and, you know, a donut.
Because the transaction fees are too high?
No, I buy everything, but no. Well, Bitcoin transaction fees, if you have noticed, have come way down from $30-some to a couple of dollars now. Ethereum transaction fees are frequently free, depending on which wallet you use. No, it's not the transaction fees. It's just the fact that, isn't it easier? Isn't it easier just to go click, pay for this, than it is to go to the bank or to write a check or to send a wire? No, it's 100 times, 1,000 times more simple. So if you have something that is that powerful, how are you going to stop it? How is it going to just die? It will not. And it's kind of like saying, oh, the automobile is great. You don't have to feed it. You don't have to, you know, put a saddle on it. You don't have, you know, don't have to worry about it getting old. And no. It did not matter what the people who manufactured horse buggies wanted to say or do. The car was coming.
But what about all these threats or noises that we're getting from the governments? I mean, the crash a few weeks ago started because of the Indian government issuing statements, and
Yes.
the SEC being a bit less than neutral on cryptocurrencies.
But if you keep your wits about you, you will see that there's no possibility of enforcing any of these things. None. I mean, so how can you possibly enforce something that you can't see? Especially with the anonymous and the privacy coins. How in the world do you see? No one knows that I'm even using it.
So
I'm
if
going to
the
break
government-
into my house and look at every application on my computer? No, please. It's not possible.
So have the government's lost the fight already? Is it too late for them to
They
stop
lost
crypto?
the fight as soon as Satoshi wrote his paper. That was the end of the war. Because the mathematics, I'm a mathematician, the math in that paper is kind of like when Newton discovered the laws of mechanical motion and said, oh, I can guarantee you that Mercury is going to be right here in 5 years. Well, it is, always. And the same thing with this white paper. It is guaranteed. Nothing can stop it. I don't care how angry you are that it's not a full moon tonight. It's not going to change.
So the governments have lost the war, and we're well into 2018, and the market seems to be on the up. What are the big drivers for 2018? What's going to bring in the next wave of money to drive the crypto market cap up?
Distributed exchanges, number one, pure and simple. And applications with social value, like the one that I talked about, the your allowance, okay, between parents and the kids, where you get an allowance for doing chores, okay. The way it stands now, you would do them, you usually get your allowance anyway. You got a smart contract, okay.
Between the child and his parents.
Yes, got a smart contract, okay. Here's the money, it's already in escrow, okay.
So I mow the front lawn.
That's right, I mow the front lawn, I get the money. But I forget to mow the back, and the father said, hey, the smart contract, what did it say? Front lawn, back lawn. Okay, so you don't get your money. Mow the back lawn. It's beautiful. What does it do? It brings negotiation between parent and child. Isn't that better than nothing, which we have now? Child lost in his smartphone or his computer playing games? No, it's bringing families back together. Do you see the magic
It's
of the blockchain?
It's the real world application of the blockchain. What about the institutional money? Can we expect institutional money to start flowing into blockchain? We've been talking about institutional money for many, many years in the blockchain, and to date, well, they've been slow to arrive. Where's the money?
Well, there's not going to be much coming in because investors invest in companies, don't they? What does a company mean in the crypto world? A company is something you just create in order to start the flow of your tokens, and then it disappears, right? There's no company left. So investors go, what am I investing in? So the only way that investors can invest is to buy the tokens themselves. Big difference.
And
I
do you
don't think that's going to
And
happen.
institutions are not going to buy use case tokens?
Pardon?
Are institutions not going to buy utility tokens or use case tokens?
No, because they view this compressed chart as being volatile. No, it's not volatile. It's as predictable as General Motors. It's simply compressed in time. So, oh my God, you lost 20% yesterday. Oh, who cares? This time next week, let's look at it. It's going to be fine. So no, they have no basis for an investment. They go, oh my God, what? I have no clue what's going to happen in the money.
So John, I'm not going to let you off the hook. Every time I get guests on my show, I'll ask them, if they were to hold 5 tokens for 3 years, no buying and no selling, what are your 5 tokens?
I'm not going to say.
You're not going to say?
Of course not, because people accuse me of pumping again or promoting for my own self-interest. I'm sorry, but no, I will not.
Okay, will you talk about any ICOs that you're excited about? I mean, you did mention a few that you are excited about. And no shilling, just real-world applications of stuff that you see. I know you're exposed, and there must be stuff that you're really excited about.
Okay, well, here's one. There's one called Docademic. D-O-C-A-D-E-M-I-C. It's a South American company that already has in place millions of users and thousands of physicians around South America to provide free consultation. In fact, I did one myself last night just to try it. I'd never tried it before. So I was sitting with the developers and I said, here's the app, and I'm going to go on, and sure enough, there's a doctor. Whoa, where did you come from? And there's my little picture up in the corner, live, and for free. Now, Yes, I'm excited about that.
That's
Because
changing the world.
It's changing the world. Somebody in a remote village in Venezuela, up in the mountains, can talk to a physician live, 24 hours a day.
What's that ICO called again?
Dr. Dan.
Dr. Deb. Anything else that you're excited about that's really changing the world?
I've already spoken about the year allowance. I think the year allowance, I pray that this is going to be the first ICO where people don't just grab the coins because it's going to go sky high and keep them, but say use them. Use these coins with your kids, please God. Let's do what we intended to do.
John, you take a lot of flack on Twitter. Every time I look at your Twitter, no matter what you say, no matter which coin you pump, people are after you.
Yes.
I mean, that can't feel great when you're reading your Twitter and you see people after you. How do you deal with it?
Listen, I learned a long time ago that what people think and say has no meaning whatsoever in a person's life. In America, we have a saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words and ideas will never hurt me. And that is the truth.
Sticks and stones will break your bones, but words won't harm him. That's John McAfee.
I was broke, unemployed, I was starting to slouch. I was sleeping in the basement on my mama's new couch. That's when I heard it all, a chance to skirt it all. A money like my last girl, completely virtual. Got the top graphic cards, got a power supply, a microprocessor, a motherboard, a tower and drive. I put the RAM in the RAM slot, drive in the larger bay. Topped it off, 2 fans, like a Chargers game. Price spiked to 30, I missed out, I fear. Crudely assemble a rig like a BP engineer. My friends and family smile and smirking or make fun of me, but I'ma make them eat their words because I'm gonna be a Bitcoin billionaire. Spending money like I don't care. Mining coin in my underwear. I'm gonna be a Bitcoin billionaire.